welcome our first inductee of the night. I'm going to invite up Coach Rick Berkman.
Okay. Again, I'd like to start by recognizing who is here with Eric tonight from his family. His parents, John and Amy, his sister, Emily, his uncle, Joe Escudero, and David Soderquist, and his high school coaches, which is great to see you guys here tonight, Brian Navarra and Bruce Wright. Feel free to send me another soda, if there is one. So I'd also like to thank all the players that are here tonight that are back there. Some sat with me, some sat behind. Thank you guys for coming tonight. It means a lot. I know we've had a eventful day, and it's going to be an eventful night, but we're still going strong. So, okay, soda. When Eric was in high school, obviously he's a Watertown guy. I'm a Watertown guy. So I was really connected there with all the people. But as Eric was coming through high school, I never imagined that Eric would be a kid that would play for me Division III in the SUNYAC. For those that don't know Eric, he is an absolutely ridiculous athlete. Could probably right now in his shoes go dunk a basketball 6 different ways. Like, he's just that guy. He scored 4 goals last night in our alumni game. Probably could have scored more if we weren't trying to triple team him as soon as he got the ball. Like, he's still that good. But when he was coming through high school in 9th and 10th grade, I was like, this kid's like might be looking at Syracuse or Lemoyne or one of those schools. And then they started calling him, and somehow he ended up here. I think everything worked out perfectly. And I just felt really fortunate that we had Eric play here. But when Eric got here, he was taken over for another Watertown legend, Rob Coons, who hopefully I'll be up here talking about in the very near future. And Eric took over his number. Eric was younger. Rob was a great player in Watertown, went to Lemoyne, ended up coming back here, was a superstar for us for 3 years. And Eric took that number 10 from Rob, and the rest was history. You know, he carried the torch all 4 years. I'll give you just some stats that are really impressive. As a freshman, 25 goals and 15 assists, first team SUNYAC. 2016, his sophomore year, 33 goals, 13 assists, second team SUNYAC. 2017, 19, and 17, he battled a few injuries that year, still made the second team SUNYAC. And then his senior year bounced back with 30 goals, 16 assists, back to the first team all SUNYAC, to end up with 107 goals, 61 assists, and 5th all-time leading scorer. And throughout his career, he was a newcomer of the year in our athletic department, the rookie of the year, multiple team MVP, played in the North-South game, senior athlete award winner. The only thing that Eric did not get was an All-American certificate, and that was a shame because he certainly was an All-American and should have been an All-American, and I'm not sure why that didn't happen. But Eric was probably the most talented lacrosse player that's ever played here. You know, there's another guy that'll probably be going in the Hall of Fame in 3 years, but those 2 guys just stood above everybody else that we've ever had. And talk about fortunate as a coach to have an athlete like that probably could have been playing in the Dome. Was 4 great years for me to have him. Quick story just to sum Eric up and what he would do in a game. We were down in Oneonta, and I'm not going to talk about the picture that those guys just showed me either, Eric. I'd never seen that, but it was a great picture. I will break that out again someday. We're playing Oneonta. It's like in overtime. They have the ball. They take a timeout. We're on the road. Always a tough place for us to play. Eric's playing attack, obviously. He's a goal scorer. We come into the timeout. I'm like, Eric, you're going to go down and play D-midi right now, and you're going to guard the ball. He's like, looks at me like, Coach. I'm like, Eric, you're the best athlete on the field. We need to get the ball back. Go guard the ball. So Eric goes down on defense out of the timeout as an attackman, strips the guy, runs the ball over the midfield line. I take a timeout, come in the huddle. He's a little tired, but he's a ridiculous athlete. Eric, we're going to run this play, and you're going to get the ball, and you're going to score and win the game. And that's exactly what he did. And we win the game by him going down and playing defense as an attackman, coming down, take a timeout, give him a quick drink of water, run a pick play, get the ball up top, and he scores and wins the game. Eric did that all the time. And he was that guy for 4 years as a freshman. We had him try to win a close game for us at the end. So just to let you know how athletic and how good he was, he truly was. And one of the other things about Eric is he was a very humble and selfless superstar. Like a guy of few words that never thought about himself and was just all about his teammates, didn't like the glory, didn't like everybody pumping his tires, and he just wanted to go about his business and do his thing, and man, was he good about it. But the one thing that really stood out at the end and made me really, truly believe what this kid was all about was his last game when he came off the field. He sought out my 10-year-old son and gave him a stick. And my son was still Eric's favorite player. He still has that bed in his bedroom over by, on the corner. Couldn't wait to see Eric last night. They got pictures together, and he was so excited to see him. But just for Eric to be that guy that had that relationship with my 10-year-old who thought Eric was the greatest thing in the world was it's just a true testament to how great a person that he was. So, Eric, thank you for everything you did for our program. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to spend 4 years with you. I loved every minute of it. Congratulations. It's my honor and privilege to welcome you into the Hall of Fame, bud.
First, I want to say thank you, SUNY Potsdam Athletics, for this honor. It's amazing. Thank you, Pacey's, for the food. It's fantastic. I'm going to make this short and simple. I wouldn't be here without, my wonderful family. They're always with me through the highs and lows. They never pushed me. They taught me how to be humble. And also, Coach Berkman, you took me under your wing, and you knew that I was smart enough, and you never pushed me, you never yelled at me, but you always encouraged me. To my high school coaches, whenever I wanted to shoot lacrosse balls after practice, play wall ball, you guys always did not hesitate to let me do that. Even Coach Bruce Wright, he'd let me shoot on him all the time. And it didn't go well for him, but he tried. But honestly, overall, everyone around me that supported me is really why I got here today. Even like my Uncle David and my Uncle Joe. They always were at everything that I did, right? Even the times, the smallest, the biggest things to me were my Uncle Joe, after games bring me to direct subs, or we go to national championship in Baltimore or Philly, and always supporting me, always there. And also too, my Uncle David, he would get in goal when I was younger, since I was I can't remember, me and my sister would shoot at him all the time. And it was funny because every year, once I got older, it's like a new piece of equipment would show up. By the end of it, he looked like an NL goalie. And then one day, I think it was 10th grade, I shot at him in the one spot that was open. He said, "Okay, I think I'm done with this." Also too, Emily, my sister, you were one of the toughest people I've ever met. Whenever I was, hurting or a little bit injured, you always come over to the sideline and be like, "Hey, you got to tough this out." You always encouraged me. And it was actually funny, I think of this. So one time I was playing football in high school, and took a low hit, and I'm on the sideline. Emily comes over and just "Eric, you got to get in there." I would do anything to get back in there. Dr. Van touches my ribs. He's like, "Your parents here?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" Get to the hospital, and next you know, it's 5 ribs, lung collapse. So I'm like, "Emily, I love you, but you got that one wrong." You got that one wrong. But also too, to all my teammates, I love you guys that came, supported me, all the upperclassmen, lowerclassmen, my grade, Nico Orsini, Eugene Carvin, my friend Granny, Roddy, Kyle Hawk, who was older. I can name everyone, but it's tough to do that. But overall, thank you so much for everyone, to be here. Congratulations to all the inductees, and thank you so much, Potsdam. I appreciate it.